Hey, everybody, welcome back to Reason and Theology. Your host, Michael. I was not expecting to do a video right now, but breaking news brings me here. So we're going to do it. We have a new pope, y'all. Breaking news. Let me give you a background to this before I tell you who the new pope is. Of course, many of y'all are already familiar with the Benevacantists. These are people who believe that Pope Benedict remained the pope even after his abdication. It wasn't really successful. There's various theories, but they would say he remained pope until his death. And so Pope Francis wasn't actually validly elected. So Pope Francis is an anti-pope. So a few Benevacantists got together in Rome and assembled in a conclave and elected a new pope for us. We are going to watch a very brief video clip from Brother Alexis Bunolo from the popular blog from Rome.info. And we are also going to read the press release from Rome.info, who tells us who the new pope is. So I'm briefly going to review that. Let's first show the video. This was a video filmed yesterday, walking us up unto the new conclave. But I want to play just a brief clip from it. All right, you should be able to see it. Let's begin around the 36-minute mark.
What happens then? You would recognize this man as Pope. And where would,
Yes,
so we've got Pope Francis in the Vatican right now, which the majority of the Catholic world recognizes as, I mean, whether bad or good Pope, they recognize him as the Pope. So what would happen with this man who is, tomorrow selected? Where would he go?
Okay. Well, first of all, in the Vatican, we don't have a pope. We have an anti-pope.
Right.
He calls himself Francis, Jorge Maria Bergoglio. But the man who accepts the election will become the vicar of Christ on earth. And Christ's prayer for him that your faith, I've prayed for you, Peter, that your faith may not fail, will be for that man. And there are people who say, well, how could this possibly ever convince the Catholic world? How could this person ever possibly get recognized? It's because, but that's a question that comes to a mind without faith. Once you realize it's the prayer of Jesus Christ that's going to be this guy's back, then all the problems will be resolved.
All right, so he's very, very clear in indicating, first of all, he has been a Benevacantist. He believed that Benedict was Pope and Pope Francis is an anti-Pope. And so he put on a conclave, I believe today, in Rome. And as you can see here, he says this new person is going to be the Pope. Let me share two articles here. Here's the first one that he put out. The College of Cardinals has failed. Now it's time for the faithfuls, or now it's the turn of the faithful to act. This was on January 20th, so 10 days ago. He says the College of Cardinals is now in grave violation of the papal law on conclaves, having failed to convene by the 20th day. They have lost their exclusive right to validity, or to validly elect the successor of Pope Benedict XVI in a conclave. By the way, I don't know. Can y'all actually see that right now? Double check. Make sure that y'all can actually see it on your screen. Yeah, okay. Looks like y'all can. Okay. So he's saying, look, the College of Cardinals, you guys did not elect the Pope in time. You had 20 days. You didn't do it. Benedict passed. And so they say, look, at this point, the faithful in Rome have the right to elect a new pope because Pope Francis is an anti-pope. So he called the faithful to Rome and he asked people for $60,000 to rent a large venue by Monday. And he tells you how you could donate right here. Don't go and donate now because the conclave already happened, but I'm just showing you that he was raising the $60,000 here. And again, like I said, they did hold the conclave and they just released the press release for the news. Here it is. So again, from Rome.info. Press release from the assembly to elect Benedict's successor. Those who were against Catholics electing a successor to St. Peter prevailed to convince many not to come to Rome. So, a lot of people didn't want to come to Rome to elect a new successor. And so the results of the election are as follows: unanimous for Jorge Mario Bergoglio as successor of St. Peter and successor of Benedict XVI. Let me just stop right there. Let me just stop. Look, I don't know how many people were in this conclave. Okay. It doesn't sound like there were many. but we were kind of in this predicament because people were really dissatisfied with Pope Francis. So they came up with a wild theory that said that Benedict was still the Pope. And whenever they finally get an opportunity to elect a new Pope, they choose Bergoglio. Hold on, I need to use the laugh track here. Hold on. I have to be honest. I wasn't expecting them to go with Pope Francis, but they went with Pope Francis. So here we are. The electorate present wants the world to know that it has chosen the only outcome that would be both universally accepted, and that is to bring the canonical order of the church back into harmony with the will of Christ. In this, it follows the example of the Roman Catholics who, under threat from imperial army, elected deacon of the Eastern Emperor, who was a monothelite heretic. With his election completed, he was immediately converted to the Catholic faith under the power of the Jesus prayer. So I guess they're saying that, Pope Francis, because of this election, is now all of a sudden going to be converted to being a Catholic. I wonder what they're going to do when he releases, some kind of statement that's problematic for them. I don't know. I guess we'll find out soon. And so we hope and pray that the Lord, whose hands are now free to set the church in order, will now intervene in history without violating his promise to St. Peter that whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. For my part, Brother Alexis tells us, I have suggested as candidate Monsignor Gracida, Bishop Emeritus of Corpus Christi, Texas. Well, he didn't get his wish. Unanimous, Jorge Bergoglio. Again, they don't tell us how many people participated in this. I mean, it could have been like 3 people. I don't know. How do you hold a conclave and elect the very person that you believe is an anti-pope and you probably think is heterodox? I don't know. I don't get it. But joining me now is Kevin Symonds, who is going to tell us his perspective on the matter. Kevin, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm a bit confused. It's like I want to laugh, but I'm like, okay, my brain is trying to wrap its head around this.
Look, I gotta be honest with you. I needed this laugh. I really needed this. This came at the right time. But
like I'm sitting here. I had to go back to this forum I'm on an app here on my phone, and somebody's quoting, I think, from chapter 2 of G.K. Chesterton's Orthodoxy. I think the name of the book. And the madman's explanation of a thing is always complete, and often in a purely rational sense satisfactory. Or to speak more strictly, the insane explanation, if not conclusive, is at least unanswerable. This may be observed especially in the 2 or 3 commonest kinds of madness. If a man says, for instance, that men have a conspiracy against him, you cannot dispute it except by saying that all the men deny that they are conspirators, which is exactly what conspirators would do. His explanation covers the facts as much as yours. Or if a man says that he is the rightful king of England, it is no complete answer to say that the existing authorities call him mad. For if he were the king of England, that might be the wisest thing for the existing authorities to do. Or if a man says that he is Jesus Christ, it is no answer to tell him that the world denies his divinity, for the world denied Christ's. Now, and it goes on. Everyone who has had the misfortune to talk with people in the heart or on the edge of mental disorder knows that their most sinister quality is a horrible clarity of detail, of a connecting of one thing with another in a map more elaborate than a maze. Think of that TV show where the guy his hair is all strung out. He's got all the pictures on the pen. He's got the lines of the red lines going through. If you argue with a madman, it is extremely probable that you will get the worst of it. For in many ways, his mind moves all the quicker for not being delayed by the things that go with good judgment. He is not hampered by a sense of humor or by clarity or by the dumb certainties of experience. He is the more logical for losing certain sane affections. Indeed, the common phrase for insanity is in this respect a misleading one. The madman is not the man who has lost his reason. The madman is the man who has lost everything except his reason. Just some thoughts, I think, to kind of contextualize. When I get this notice that this had gone on, I was like, wait, what? Am I like, you elected Bergoglio in some vain hope that now somehow God's grace will be released upon the world or something? It almost sounds like these ridiculous supplied grace ceremonies that they're doing with the priesthood now that they're supposedly out there that are going on. I don't know. It's like people have lost their minds.
So I have a question for you though. Do you accept the new pope? Look, because here it's wait. It's a catch-22 because if you say yes, then you recognize their conclave. If you say no, then you deny that Pope Francis is the Pope. So it's like it's catch-22. There's no way you can answer that question.
I don't know. Chris Ferrara himself once said to me, Kevin, it's all in how you phrase the question. And you said, do you accept the new Pope? I would have to reject the question based upon the premise itself. What was it? Premise 1, premise 2, conclusion. Yeah. I'd have to reject it based upon the first premise because I don't agree that he's a new Pope.
Sure.
I think what is it? What this coming March? It's 10 years, I think.
I'm just blown away that anybody thinks that, well, okay, you guys have forfeited, you Cardinals have forfeited, you're right. And so we random people are going to assemble. We don't even know how many people did. Again, it could have been maybe like 2 people. I don't know, 2 or 3 people. But we random people are going to assemble here in Rome and we are going to elect a new successor. And that's somehow valid. Why? I don't know. But I mean, I guess it
surprised me to see that mark about the note about Gracida. Gracida's in a bit of hot water. He's come out and he had declared Benedict to be the real Pope, or at least in his opinion, on his blog over the Abyssus website he has. And he's just, I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Does Gracida accept the new Pope now?
That's a good question. He's got an email address on his website.
Maybe we should ask
generation. So if anybody sends Gracida an email, poor man has macular degeneration. So make sure you type big font.
Well, maybe we can just call him, or better yet, y'all call us. In fact, we are taking live phone calls. Let me give you the number. It is 318-460-0153. I want to hear from you. I want to get your reaction. I want to know, what do you think about the new Pope? Do you accept the new Pope? Again, the number is 318-460-0153. Give me a ring. You'll be on Live with Reason and Theology, and we'll get to hear you weigh in. Let me put it there in the chat just in case y'all missed it. Yeah, and it looks like we got somebody on the line. Caller, you're Live with Reason and Theology. What's your name? Hello.
Yes, hello. This is Jackson. How are you doing?
Hey, Jackson. How are you?
I'm doing great. I thought everything was over. I was about to leave, but now we have a new Pope. We're so back. It's everything was falling apart, but I feel like everything, like the universe is being brought together again.
Yeah. And evidently this is supposed to transform the heart of Pope Francis and turn him into an Orthodox Pope because they believed that he wasn't theologically orthodox. But upon elevation to the pontificate, he will be, bam, automatically through the Jesus prayer made Orthodox. So I guess he's not going to say anything that is problematic for them in the future. However, when he inevitably does, I wonder what their reaction is going to be. Are they going to elect a new successor and declare him to have been an anti-pope and declare this whole conclave invalid? I guess we'll find out. But I guess I got the answer to my question. I was going to ask, do you accept the new pope? Sounds like you do.
Yeah, I accept him wholeheartedly. I was worried it was going to be one of these liberals who got elected, but we got pretty lucky on this conclave. So we have a few more years.
We did. And look, I appreciate you calling. I got another caller I'm going to take here. Caller, you're live with Reason and Theology. Can you hear me?
Yes, this is Mike Lewis.
Mike Lewis, how you doing?
Good. So yeah, I mean, Kevin was texting me about this show, and I'm like, I know all about it. I don't know if I want to spoil your secrets, but I was like, I saw this news. Well, first I watched this YouTube video,
Mike,
and he's talking about a conclave.
Mike Lewis is the one who tipped me off to this, just so y'all know.
Thank you. But yeah, no, I saw that this conclave was coming up, and I texted you because obviously you're on top of, the things that are important in the Catholic Church like this, and I wanted to let you know, but then I see, oh wait, they already did it. And they elected and I have to admit, he was a dark horse. I did not expect, first of all, he's over 80. I was not expecting it. He's over 80, which is unprecedented. He's I just lost your wait, let me see.
Can you hear me? Testing.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah. So he's over 80.
I have like a 1 second delay or something.
Okay.
So yeah, no, but I think this is good. I think they should also make a special effort to reach out to Pope Michael's followers and see if they're willing to hop on board. And maybe Patrick Coffin can be the host of Catholic Answers again. We'll see if that happens.
Yeah, I'd like to get a statement from Patrick Coffin. I'd also like to hear from Vatican Catholic. We'll say Holy Family Monastery.
Oh yeah,
I'd like to know, do they accept the new pope? If not, why not? So.
Yeah, it's about time we had a conclave. And this one was actually in Rome. It wasn't in Kansas. At the mom and dad's house or whatever.
That makes it legitimate because it was in Rome. It's absolutely legitimate.
All right, so I just wanted to let you go, but I wanted to weigh in there. So
thanks for calling. Got another call here. Caller, you're live with Reason and Theology. Hello. Caller, you're live. Can you hear me? I see the call's connected, but I can't hear you. Hello. All right, I guess that one is a dropped call. Looks like it just ended. Call me. We will discuss it here. I want to get your reaction. Again, the number is 318-460-0153. Again, 318. Looks like we're getting one right now. Let me answer. Caller, you're live with Reason and Theology. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, can you hear me?
I dropped the signal again.
No problem.
I don't know if you heard my question. Did these people need to go to confession? Were they excommunicated? Were they excommunicated for their 10 years of schism? Or are they
I see what you're saying.
Reconciled with?
Yeah. Well, I do believe that a person who denies the legitimate successor to St. Peter, Pope Francis, that if they deny that he is the Pope, I do think at the very least that's materially schism. Whether or not it touches matters like, do you need to go to confession? There's more to that discussion at that point. But at the very least, it's materially schismatic. Kevin, you want to offer some comments on there?
Yeah, if you rejected Francis as the Pope, you're out of communion with the Roman Pontiff, the validly elected Roman Pontiff, as of 10 years ago, not 24 hours ago or 10 minutes ago, whatever it was that they're claiming. Yeah, there's a problem there. I can't declare as formal schism. That's something that only the Holy See, I think, can formally declare, at least. But yeah, if you say Pope Francis is not the Pope, especially after today, apparently that's that's kind of a problem. Yeah. But I actually recently came across this Bugnolo guy recently again. I didn't realize it was him until all this broke out. He recently made a video on some other YouTube channel, and I just saw it recently. And they were taking swipes at Mike Voris, saying some pretty interesting things that I don't know if they're going to ever be able to substantiate. But you know what I did, actually? I downloaded the videos. I don't have them here, though. They're downstairs on my I have like a bigger external hard drive for the bigger files. I don't have it here, and I'm having difficulty pulling it up here on YouTube.
Oh, no problem.
It's but yeah, they were just saying some pretty crazy things. It's like, do you all I don't know, like I said, that it seems to me that these folks have lost their minds. I'm sorry. I don't think that I hope I don't get like in legal trouble, but I'm sorry. I just this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I hear you. Caller, you're live with Reason and Theology. Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, I can hear you.
Hey,
big fan of the show.
And what's your name?
I'm Eric.
Welcome to the show, Eric. So tell me, do you think that this new Pope is now the Pope? Do you accept him?
Well, so I've been following his work for a little while, and I have to say, I think this was a good choice. I think this was a good choice, and mainly on the basis because I agree with him on like everything. Then I think then for that reason, I think he's a valid Pope.
So do you have
just mainly because I go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to ask, do you have what's called hyperpapalism, where you believe that everything the Pope says is infallible? Evidently, this is a new brain disease that's going out there. Do you have this form of hyperpapalism? Sure. Is that why you're going with them?
Well, no, it's mainly, like I said, it's because he's been right on everything so far, in my opinion, and that's what's really important here. So
I know, I'm just picking on you. if you haven't seen my last show, go and check it out. You'll enjoy it. I appreciate you calling, Eric. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go on to the next call. Caller, you're live with Reason and Theology. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
And what's your name?
I would just like to throw my nomination. Yes, I'm here. I would just like to throw in my nomination for Patrick Coffin as the new Pope, duly elected as Pope Michael II.
Pope Michael II.
Boogaloo.
Oh well, yeah, we did have a Pope Michael already, so yeah, you're right about that. But no, the conclave is already over. They already elected a new Pope. So relate to the game here. I'm curious, was Patrick Coffin there? I doubt it. I don't think he was there.
Nicole Marie says Conclave 2023, Pachamama's Revenge.
Caller, you're live with Reason and Theology. What's your name?
Hello, this is Chad.
Hey,
well,
Chad.
They finally did it. We didn't expect it, but it happened, and I'm gonna have to say I'm a little disappointed. They chose an insider. I thought they were gonna bring someone outside. Of course, we know that he had been the vice pope since 2013,
right?
And they just moved him up to the next position.
Yeah, you got a promotion.
And I really wanted someone to drain the swamp. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. Well, but again, it evidently what's going to happen is because this person has now been elevated to the papacy, they're going to be automatically converted. As in the case that they cited, where they mention a deacon of the Eastern Emperor who was a monothelite heretic, with his election completed, he was immediately converted to the Catholic faith under the power of the Jesus Prayer. So evidently that is what happened with Bergoglio. Anyways, I appreciate you calling in and weighing in on that. Let's see. Do we have another call?
Is this the first time that someone's elected a former, quote unquote, former anti-pope now as pope? Is this the first time in church history
that a person who was formerly an anti-pope is now pope? No, that wouldn't be the first time. There have been anti-popes who are then later on popes.
Oh, okay.
Like where the valid pope died, so then the anti-pope actually then became the valid pope. Yeah, that's happened before. Y'all give me a call. It is 318-460-0153. I want to hear from you. I want to know, do you accept this man as the new pope. Looks like we got something from River Run. Is it possible that ancient aliens elected Pope Francis?
No. You got to do it in the voice. You got to do it in the voice.
Is it possible that ancient aliens elected Pope Francis the new pope? Ancient alien scholars say yes. Caller, you're live with Reason and Theology. Can you hear me?
Sure can, Michael.
And what's your name?
This is John.
Hey, John, welcome to the show. So tell me, what do you think about this situation? Do you accept Bergoglio as the new pope?
Well, I think with the information given, I can give a soft yes. But, I think we need a little more info. I want to make sure there's been no,
Right.
ballot shuffling or anything like that.
Exactly. That's the same
I think we should get the courts in on it just to confirm.
I was wondering the same thing. I want to know the details. How were the ballots done? Was it done consistently in accordance with canon law? And so, yeah, I want to know those things as well, just so I can make sure, rest assured that Pope Francis is actually the Pope. Thank you for calling. Looks like I got another one here. Caller, you're live with Reason and Theology. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can. What's your name?
Hi. I'm known on the internet by the name Dr. Maylor Tarshall. I have a lot of important degrees, and this is just to me an example of the infiltration of the church, the Dadites that come out. And yes, I showed my book to the fake pope. It's called Exfiltration, about how the communists sent stuff out and then got back into the church.
Mm-hmm.
This is just another example of the communist plot to take over the church.
I think so.
All just undermining the true papacy of somebody. Sorry. Yeah. Hi guys. Thank you.
I get it. I appreciate you calling in. I'm right there with you. By the way, James, I saw you gave me a ring. Call me again, and I'll take your call. I want to give you priority. So let me go ahead. I'm going to decline this call first because I do want to get that call from James first. So hold on. James, I got you on, but give me just 1 second. Kevin's going to weigh in here. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, I have a confession to make.
Uh-huh.
This is the fourth secret of Fatima. Our Lady predicted this.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
I can no longer keep it hidden. I was trying to do it, but Our Lady predicted it. Bad council, bad mass, but the other part that people didn't know about was a bad conclave. When it was predicted 2013. It's in the 25 lines of text that was floating around on but there it is. This is the fourth secret of Fatima.
You know what I want to know? I want to know, what does the third eagle of the apocalypse and co-prophet in these end times say about this? Do you know who I'm talking about, by the way? The third eagle of the apocalypse, that's one of his titles, and then his other title is, and the co-prophet of the end times.
Oh,
William Tapley. I want to know what he thinks. Does he accept the new pope? James, you're on live with Reason and Theology. How are you, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing all right, Michael. I'm a little disturbed.
Is that right?
I gotta say, oh yes, sir. I just got word from one of my friends in Rome who has been speaking to an unnamed cardinal.
Okay.
Who says that this whole conclave was illegal and the results are just completely invalid. So we have a problem here, because that means that the current pope now, what's his name? I try not to pay attention to the news. Francis the First is apparently still pope, and this Bergoglio guy, he's just not going to get a shot because this was an illegal conclave.
Or Pope Francis is now a second anti-pope.
Oh, can you have a double anti-pope?
I think we just
did. What is that like a double? Is that like a double negative?
I think that's what happened.
I think we have a double.
If this unnamed cardinal in Rome, this unnamed source, if what they say is true, and this was an invalid conclave, there was some kind of funny business behind the scenes, then yeah, this would make him a double anti-pope. It's kind of like a double agent.
Well, then,
but it has to do with the
this is the
that would make
two negatives make a positive.
Well, this is the backlash of history. We had two popes at one time. Now we have two anti-popes, you see. So it's the backlash of history. So it comes back full circle. See?
Well, that's true. Two wrongs don't make a right, but
that's right.
Three lefts do. So there's a way out of this.
Right. That means we need to go back to Rome and do it right this time. Right? Y'all
wait, no.
Yeah,
we don't want
I agree.
three
We got
lefts.
to be sure.
No, we don't want to have three lefts. Do you want three liberal popes all sitting on the chair of St. Peter in a row? We don't want three lefts.
Oh.
It'll be like the time of the Western Schism when we have three claimants to the papacy, Except in this case, it will literally be the same person claiming to be the Pope in each instance. So, there's that complication.
If you have three liberal popes, then especially if they all believe in liberation theology, then you end up with a Mexican standoff.
I guess so.
I think that's how that works.
I believe this is what we have as a Mexican standoff.
Maybe it's an Argentinian standoff.
Oh,
I get those mixed up.
That would work. James, I appreciate you calling and doing this. I enjoyed it. It looks like there's a couple super chats here. Jackson, huge historical mistake not electing Martin Luther to the papacy would have saved us the trouble of the Reformation. Patrick Coffin walked out onto the balcony with the new Pope Francis after the conclave. Coffin was on it the whole time, was in on it the whole time. Well, I do honestly want to hear a statement from Coffin and see where he weighs in on this. The conclave did the smoke wrong. He's not the Pope. Did they do the smoke? Honestly, I'm curious.
No, but I do have to ask myself, what were they smoking?
I can't. I'm tapping out. That's it. No more calls. I appreciate y'all calling in. Everybody who called in, thank y'all so much. I am stunned by the news. Not what I expected at all when I heard a new papal conclave gathered together and elected a pope. I wasn't expecting this. This is just out of nowhere. But let's pray for our new pope. And Kevin, any parting words?
There's something that comes to mind, but I probably shouldn't say it out loud. It's very, very off color.
On that note, everybody, thank y'all for watching. Hit that like button and the subscribe button. By the way, check me out, patreon.com/reason and theology if you want to support me. We'll see you later. God bless. Oh, wait, before you go, I would really appreciate it if you would consider supporting this channel. This is my primary means to provide for my family, and it also helps me to produce content like this video. If you would like to support me, become a patron by visiting patreon.com/reason and theology. You'll also get access to extra exclusive content when you become a patron. Lastly, hit that like button and the subscribe button, and be sure to leave a comment down below. God bless.